Okay, so I'm going to try to make this video quick. And why am I going to make this video quick? We're just going to push these books back. Because I think was a video I uploaded today. But I mentioned at the start I had to push a bunch of books back because my room is so small that the way I kneel when I film videos. This way I like to film videos, the iPad on the bed, and it's comfortable enough for me to kneel here. And because I'm on a linoleum floor, rug, and but I had my legs. You get the idea, and I'm pushing back, and my feet always hit comics, and it's uncomfortable. It's not like, oh, I'm afraid I'm gonna damage them or anything like that. No, it's just extremely uncomfortable. I always never put it into consideration, and I always get surprised every time. But yes, as I said before, as I said in the beginning, I'm going to try to make this quick. Why is that the case? Well, all but one book has. Is it really that hot that my glasses are already fogging? Please don't tell me that's the case. I have no idea how I'm going to point the fan then if that's going to happen. But all but one book came in. When a last book comes in, like with my last month's comic haul, I'm just going to include that in the complete, and I'm going to do a dedicated video for one book. So that will be included in the complete July haul. So you have a reason to check out that if you already check out this video. And also the July haul, complete July haul, is a more polished version of this video. If you want to know what I got, watch this video. If you want to know what I got and go into really long ass detail, then watch the July haul video, complete July haul video, which is always uploaded the following month. So August 1st, if all goes well, you'll get that video. You get the complete July haul, and then so on and so forth. Sometimes the books come in late, and I have to push it, but most of the time, no. All right. So first up is Transformers Worst Spot Ever Meet Ballpoint. I really only got this because, it's an Image Comics Skybound comic book. I really like those. And also, it's Transformers. I think eventually I'm just going to be a completist for Image Comics Transformers. All the trades that come out, all the compendiums, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to be as, go so far as get double dip, get the soft covers and the hard covers, but I'll get all the collected editions that I need. So this will definitely be a good one to have in the long run, to own in the long run. But this is definitely one where, had the circumstances had not been what they are, I don't think I would have gotten this book. And that is to say, this is for 8 and up. This is a kiddie book, and not that I don't mind having kiddie books, owning kiddie books, but this one was kind of like borderline. Like, okay, come on, that's pushing it. Here's the artwork for Transformers Meet Ballpoint, which is written by Brian Smitty Smith with artwork by Mars Jr. And some of these books, they don't tell you exactly who the writer. Yeah, they just show the names. So I'm just assuming that's what's the case. I don't know why they did that. I know Brian Smitty Smith is as the author. That much I know. So by process of elimination. But then again, he could always be the artist too. I don't know why these books, and it's not just specifically the Image Comics Skybound comic books. It's just some Image books in general will just show the two names, and it's really infuriating because I like to be accurate. An original graphic novel for Worst Spot Ever, and I just realized I forgot a book, and I'm gonna grab that now. So the only floppy I got this month was Dread the Halls. And I had to get this on eBay because I could have gone to my local comic shop to get this, but I'm not going to go all the way to my local comic shop. If they even have it, to get one book. Because my local comic shop, the reason why I stopped collecting floppies regularly was at first I stopped having the books. And it was really infuriating. I was like, okay, you had issues 1 through 6 of this ongoing series. Why the fuck don't you have issue 7? And it would be, and I'd go sometimes the day of release, and they would not have it. And it was, I don't think it was that popular. Some were. Something is Killing the Children is an extremely popular series, so I understand. I was just too late. I missed out. FOMO, whatever the hell. But the FOMO, I got over the FOMO. I got over it, and it was like super expensive because each issue of your standard size 32-page at most comic was $4, and this one right here is 48 pages and is $6.99. Now I got this cover. This is so it's Dread the Hall H. It's a one shot. They're doing one shots like this. They have 2 of them out now. Okay, guys, stop saying and They have 2 of these out right now. One of them, it was a Christmas special. This is a San Diego Comic Con special, or Comic Con in general special, which I think is pretty cool. And I like this little like badge homage cover. They do it right. I don't think this will be worth anything in the future, but it would be kind of nice. I did overpay for this a little bit. Because I'm saying that. Okay, so Chris Ryall and Jordan Hart write stories here, and the first one was really good. I actually I liked most of the stories in there. Jordan Hart's were like the knockouts, the ones that I remember the most. They were the best of the bunch. And honestly, I want to reread that, and then in anticipation for reading this, I'll read that one first and then do this one. I've not finished this one yet. I've not read this one yet. I was going to, but decided against it at last minute. We'll do artwork. I want to do it for the Jordan Hart story. I'm being a dick to Chris Ryall. Well, he has 8,000 image books out, and there's no reason for it. I just like Jordan Hart. It's the reason why I got this book is because Jordan Hart was writing stories in here. What the hell? Is it first 2? All right, it's whatever. It's not a big deal. Uh-oh. What the hell? Did he co-author it? I don't know. But wait, sorry. Jordan Hart. Letterer? No, written by Jordan Hart and Chris Ryall. Weird. It's not a big deal. I don't care that much, but yeah, a little bit annoying. And I'm pretty sure that I have. This isn't like a sample copy. They wouldn't do that to me. I did not unfairly. What's the word I'm looking for? I did not unrealistically. I did. Point is, I worried that this was like the sample copy, and the San Diego Comic Con exclusive. Like, they have like sample copies of comics that haven't been released yet, but they're exclusive San Diego Comic Con versions. I don't know why I can't pronounce words today. It's like going back to DC New 52. I had to say it like that, or else it comes out jump. Alright, so that was Deck the Hall H. It's not Deck the Hall, it's Dread the Hall H. This next one is a very interesting one, more because of who writes this series. And this one I had never heard of. I just looked it up. I saw it on my comic shop website out of anything. And I was just looking up Image Comics series, just curious. And I don't know how I can. I don't know what prompted me to do that. To do that. But I found 21, which collects 1 through 3 of 21, written by Len Wein. That Len Wein, the creator of Wolverine and longtime comic writer, writes an Image book. And this was 90s, so it's not recent, and it's probably that kind of comic, but I don't care. There's a reason why I'm collecting Witchblade and Darkness trade paperbacks, complete collections. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the hell? Whoa, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Why are you bent out of shape? That was weird. It was like there was something that was left in the book. Here's the artwork. And I couldn't open it the right way. Like, it wasn't opening the right way at all. Alright, so Len Wein and Mark Silvestri do the co-plot, but Len Wein does the script, and Billy Tan Muncoy and Mark Silvestri do the pencils, and the only added name is Detron for the inks. Colors is Ashby Manson. And then a whole bunch of people are configured codes. My god, Image. Like, what the fuck? You probably can't see it. I take one of his 40,000 names. And I get it, and it's cool. There's a book coming up that I like that there's multiple artists. But it's like, yeah, it's naming. I'll name all these so I get to actually do actual work. That's not water damage, is it? It's like wavy. It's weird. Oh, is it because of the humidity? Because it's so goddamn hot outside right now? I don't know. It's an older trade too, so I was honestly surprised it came in the condition that it did. But I was promised near mint. This is not near mint. No, I think it is just 'cause it's an older book. The humidity. That is kind of weird though to think about. Like I never have had that problem with any of my comics. And keep in mind how long I've been collecting comics for too. Yeah, 21. I'm taking 1 through 3 out of 21. And it's such an old trade that they didn't even have like the Image logo like on here at all. Like, I don't even know like if technically this counts as an Image trade, or it's not as an Image trade, as a trade paperback in general. It only collects 3 issues and it's so old. But it does. They have the covers here too, right? You just saw it. Yeah, looks like it. And yep, they do. So why pray tell does a comic from the 90s do just fine with showing the covers before each issue, but so many other trades from the same publisher that were released later on don't? Like Skybound has the worst track record with that. Like Transformers, that's an OGN. That did not go by issues, so obviously it doesn't even have to have chapters if it doesn't want to. That makes sense. There's like this book right here, Gang Lords of Chinatown, collects 1 through 5 of Gang Lords of Chinatown. It's rural Gang Lords of Chinatown, but I say Gang Lords of Chinatown because that's what I see here. Written by Ivan Brandon. Penciler is Mike Hawthorne. Rick Remender is the inker, and Gulia Brusco is the colorist. So yeah, no problem here with the book. No humidity issues. Now this one I read thanks to my local library. So this is technically a library. I had it first. I liked it so much I bought it myself. I've been doing that with a bunch of Image trades. December of 2023 was such a kick-ass comic haul month, and I consider to be one of the best comic hauls of all time, just because of how stacked that those comics were. Not just because there was a huge stack in general, no pun intended. Of course, when I said stacked, but it was just you had Snot Girl, you had Maiden. I can only remember one. Like Self-Made and many others that I just absolutely loved. Snot Girl more than Self-Made, but still liked both enough. And I was like, yep, I want these on my PC. And then, because I can get them at the library. It's pretty easy to get those 2 books, especially. But owning the comic is beneficial for me, and because I'm getting nothing but Image nowadays, it's an added novelty to get these kinds of books. But this one is a bit of an exception because I didn't know this was even written by Ivan Brandon or even published by Image until I got the trade from my local library. And even then, there is a volume 2 that also snuck up on me. But volume 2 is completely different in every way, shape, and form. I think the only thing that stays consistent is who it's created by, because this is created by Jeff Amano, and the artist, I believe, is the same. But everything else is different, except for the publisher. But now this was originally published, the issues were published by Beckett Comics. They must have gone out of business because now the trades are done by Image. But so volume 2, reason why I didn't get volume 2, I didn't bother with it, is because that's not the only thing Jeff Amano did for Image, and it was just kind of pointless, and honestly, this book isn't too great. If it weren't for the completist in me, I probably wouldn't own this right now. I wouldn't have it in my hand right now. But it's the last Ivan Brandon book I needed for his Image Comics run, so I got this book. It's not terrible, but it is one of those books that you're kind of like, I'm glad I didn't spend money on this. Now that I have, I'm so glad I got it, don't get me wrong, and so it's good enough. So I think maybe I would have, at the end of the day, have gotten it, but yeah, definitely one of those things where I didn't need it right away. I definitely like it wasn't like super good, had to have it right away kind of thing. It's just a slightly above average, like a 6.5, I would say. So yeah, this one through five of Rule Gang Lords of Chinatown. But yeah, this doesn't give you the covers. It just starts right off this after the cover page, right into the book. And the only way that I could figure out, and even then that wasn't wholly accurate. I don't even know if it was wholly accurate. Is there's 10 chapters in the entire trade. So do the math. Oh, that's 2 chapters per day. That's 5 issues. That's how I'm gonna read it. That's how I read it. I'm glad that's how I read it. Reading all of this in one sitting, while it is fast paced at the beginning and the end, that middle part would have killed me. Next up, because I did just say we're making this a quick video, and now we're already 15 minutes in, and we're only at the 3rd book. Alright. Alpha Girl, Volume 1, written by Joe Roning and John Paul Bonjour. The penciler for issues 1 through 3 is Robert Love. Inker for the same amount of issues is Dana Shikarsky. Artist for chapters 4 through 5 is Diego Simone. Cover artist for issues 1 through 3 and 5 is Robert Love. But issue 4 is Jeff Rossier. Cover artist for volume 1 is Diego Simone, and the colorist for the whole entire series is Diego Simone. It's pretty consistent there. That's kind of nice. But as I'm saying, that was intentional. So this is one of those books I never heard of before, like at all. Nothing, not the writers, artists, nothing peaked, nothing I had heard of before, like artist, colorist, nothing. So why did I get this book? Well, I was looking up image books, and and so happened to come across this book, and this is one of those books that this is the only thing that either writer has written in general, not image, not comics, in general. And that's always a huge novelty to me because it's so foreign to me. Of all the, it's like, oh, I'm just getting books from Image, and it just so happens to be that it's a nice little trend. I'm sure Dark Horse has the same, and like, I'm sure it's Dark Horse books written by one-hit wonders. Like, literally, they just did one book and that's it. But it's a novelty to me. I really like doing these kinds of, I like these kind of things. I'm a completist in that regard too. But this collects 1 through 5 of Alpha Girl. And I know I just showed the artwork. I'm going to show it again because my brain is saying, no you didn't, no you didn't. But yeah, 1 through 5 of Alpha Girl. I just want to make sure that I am right with the 1 through 5. I'm pretty sure I am. In fact, I know I'm right. Yeah, 1 through 5. Next up is a 2-volume series, and that is Pretty Violent, collecting all 11 issues of Pretty Violent. And it has an art style that I'm not super crazy about. But this was one that I had seen a long time ago when Image did their digital sale, and I seen that, I was like, I'm not going to get that. Like, that's, maybe if I need 1 or 2 books, you know, I'm shy 1 or 2 books for my budget, and there's absolutely nothing else that I want. And I can't, or I just can't get, and I have $20 left over, and get these 2 books because I can't get. Maybe there's something I want also, but it's $30, so I can't do that. So $20, I get Pretty Violent books 1 and 2. But I decided enough was enough, you know, and it's pretty. I got it for a pretty, no pun intended, cheap price. And also, this is used very good from Wonderbook, and the only blemish is that there's a little sticky here. There's obviously a sticker put here, and you can, the residue is still there. Especially when you put it under the light, you can tell the residue is there. I can't get it right. Maybe I did, I just couldn't see it. But it's very minor. That was it. That's the only blemish that's on this book. So if I was ever to be sponsored by a third-party seller, and I know Cheap Graphic Novels technically isn't, but I consider them to be a third-party seller because it's not Amazon. And like Amazon for Wonderbook is a third-party seller off Amazon. That's literally what they say. So that's why I say CGN is also third-party. But anyways, if I were to ever to be sponsored by somebody, I would probably pick Wonderbook. Not pick, but like I would definitely be a sponsor to them the way that Near My Condition is a sponsor for cheap graphic novels. I could go on a tangent why I absolutely fucking despise cheap graphic novels and will never, ever, 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 ever in my life purchase from them ever again. I get it, it was a pandemic, but it was ridiculous even for pandemic standards. Like, Jesus Christ, guys. It's comics, not weapons. Don't take 3 months. It was actually 3 months to come in. It was, I ordered it in May, June, July. Wait, sorry. If you count May, May, June, July. So 3 months. Yeah, you have the month itself, right? Because June, July, August. That's 3 months of summer. Yeah, that's it. I'm not wrong. But if you count the month, yeah, it was still way too long. But no, the entire I don't know. Yeah, no. If you say I've been in the hospital, I was in a hospital January and February. That's 2 months, right? My brain is mush, I guess, right now. But it's one of those things that I kind of second guess myself, and I'm thinking to myself, why the hell am I second guessing myself? It has nothing to do with the heat or anything. It's just the way my brain works sometimes. But anyways, Pretty Violent Volume 1 collects Pretty Violent swears. Okay. It's kind of funny to say they call it Pretty Violent with lots of swears. It's mature rated. But Volume 1 collects 1 through 6 of Pretty Violent, which is written by 2 writers. Created, drawn, and lettered by Derek Hunter. Written by Jason Young and Derek Hunter. But the colorist is Spencer Holt. Definitely some Scotty Young vibes here. I definitely get that Scotty Young I Hate Fairyland vibe. And it's definitely going for that audience because it's a cutesy comic. It looks like it's for kids, but it's not. Which I'm not going to insult them there. Now, one thing I want to mention right here is that when I get 2 volumes of a series in 1 month, I don't show the artwork for volume 2. Reason why that is spoilers. I don't want to show any spoilers. Like this right here is Snot Girl Volume 4. This one right here, like Volume 2 collects 6 through 11. I know you guys are, 7 to 11. I know you guys can probably put 2 and 2 together, but 7 to 11 for Volume 2. Actually, no, because sometimes, like a Cowl, Volume 1 is 1 through 5, and Volume 2 is 7 to 11. They skip issue 6 because it's a spin-off issue kind of thing. It has more to do with Radiant Black than it has to do with Cowl. But it's still part of that same series, just include it. Who cares? I wouldn't care. Yeah, if they kept saying, like, oh, to be continued in Radiant Black issue 20, I'd be kind of like, wait, what the hell? But I'd still be fine with it being collected in the trades. Very annoying, but definitely a nitpick. But anyways, going back to what I was going to before, Snot Girl Volume 4 by Brian Lee O'Malley with artwork done by Leslie Hung. Colors done by Rachel Cohen. Yeah, finally this trade comes out. And this is one of those books that was on hiatus for the longest time. We never got issue 16, no word of an issue 16 coming out, but in 2024, December 2024, 4 years later, we got news. We got issue 16. And the longest time I thought it was like indefinite hiatus, like forever and ever, never coming back, but surprise, surprise. And this collects Snot Girl 16 through 20, but from the creator of Scott Pilgrim. And I think this is not as good as Scott Pilgrim, but if you like one, you like the other kind of thing. Can't go wrong with Snot Girl. I honestly, for the longest time, I avoided it because I thought it'd be gross out and annoying, and it was none of those. There is some gross out here, but it's not like insistent, and it's not insistent. It's not incessant, and it's done good enough. Like, it's kind of like a blinking of an eye. Honestly, I couldn't tell you what issue it came from or how often it was. Just that it wasn't often enough for me to complain about it. Next book is Marksman. Never even heard of this series. Every now and then, what I'll do is, if I want to not necessarily get quantity over quality, but if I have like a $15 gift card and I want to see, hey, can we get 2 books with it? Let's see. I will filter Amazon priced low to high, but with Prime shipping, because I don't have to wait, sometimes I don't have to wait. And that's how I found a lot of these books. Not a lot of these books here, but a lot of books in general. Like that I said, oh, I never heard of the series, and maybe you never heard of it, and the authors too was because I did that. I get these books for like $7 or $10, and it was a thick ass trade. Like Kilroy was here, that was $11, and it was 300-page trade paperback. As standard size too. So a lot of diamonds in the rough as far as like good prices go. But anyways, Marksman, written by David Baxter. He might sound familiar, he's the screenwriter, but it's created by Michael Benroda, David Baxter, and Dave Elliott. Story is done by David Baxter and Dave Elliott. Script is done by Dave Baxter. Pencil by Javier Aranda. Finishes Gary Leach. Colors Jessica Colleen and Betty Molana. Tom Coker does the covers though. Alright. And this is yet another one that this is the only thing that either writer has done. Creator, I'm not sure because there's a lot more names I remember there being, and there was a lot more names I remember there being. Like I might have saw on Amazon, but yeah, it's the two writers. That's all they did for Image, and I honestly want to say in general. But David Baxter is his name, right? Yes, David Baxter is a screenwriter. He hasn't done anything, it was like for Sundance, I believe it was. He hasn't done anything that, like, anybody would know, but to those of you who watch, like, indie films like I do, you may recognize his name. I don't, though. Alright, next up, how long has this been going on for? 26 minutes. I tried, you guys. No, it's still, I'm gonna assume this is still gonna be half the time of the complete July haul. Alright. Paradox Girl, written by Kat Yi Baroquin, with artwork done by Yishan Lee, collecting all 6 issues of this miniseries. And this is one I just found on Image Comics' website. I was kind of cycling through it. I was trying to find another book. This one came up instead, and I was like, what the hell is this? And yet again, only thing that this writer has written is Paradox Girl. I just show the artwork, told you how many issues there were, selling the same. All right, you can move on. Oh, one added note. So I did get this I did get this off eBay, and like with Wonder Book, they have remainder marks. And when I got this book in, I was like, all right, let's assess the damages because this is eBay, and even though, knock on wood, they've been like top notch, I could get fucked over. So let's see. Oh, what the hell is this? Is this the remainder marks? But it's not. It's a design. I don't know why I didn't notice it at first, but I didn't notice that at first. And I also believe that yet again the issues are by a different publisher, but the trade is done by Image. Madi, Once Upon a Time in the Future, written by the director of Moon himself, Duncan Jones, but also co-authored by Alex Canby. And then a bunch of artists. They wouldn't show who the artists are. Pia Guerra, I know off the top of my head, is the artist, among many others. And this book, just the artwork looks really damn good, especially here. When I first opened it to the first few pages, because I was curious to see if they would tell you anything, like if they would say. So, the True War Stories, I said was Alex Campi, and I thought it was Alex Campi. She just did the edits and the translation where needed. So I was curious. I was like, what is it? Who's the actual writers? And I think we did end up finding it at the end of the day. But I also don't think we did. I think we found one name. But I wanted to see if that was the same case for Madi, but it wasn't. At least I don't think it is. But it's both co-authored. Now, and I know you guys keep hate me hear me say this, but this is not originally published by Image. It wasn't OGN, so it wasn't issues, but it was Z2 Comics. But now it's under the Image Comics belt for the softcover release. And a thick softcover, and a good price too, which is only $20 for a trade that would be $34.99 at least from any other publisher, especially the big two. Witchblade, Volume 1, Margaret Bennett, collecting 1 through 6. Who is the artist? Line art, Giuseppe Cafaro. Colors by Arif Priananto. And then the half issue, the artist is Arella Christiana. Colors by Brian Valenza. But same writer. So this one is the reboot of Witchblade, new number 1 at least, and it's pretty cool. Now I got this because it was like with the Marksman book, this is also $7, and it was kind of God's way of saying just buy the damn book, man, or the comic God. It's a better word to say, a better phrase to use, a better way to explain it. The comic gods are basically like, all right, get it at this point. Now I don't have the complete collection Witchblade Volume 4. That'll have to be next month. But here you go, Witchblade Volume 1 through 6. And a 3-page teaser of the upcoming The Darkness reboot. Now whenever that's gonna come out. All right, another reread. The library had it. I like this so much I got it myself. But this is really pushing it, and this is The Infinite Horizon, written by Gerry Duggan and collecting all 5 issues of this miniseries. I'm pretty sure it's all 5. This one was just kind of boring, if I remember, but I wanted to own it because why not? And I like the novelty of I have The Infinite Horizon by Image Comics, but also what's the other Horizon book? The Horizon Experiment, also from Image. Nice little novelty there. I know it's silly, but that's the way I did it. Okay, cool. It's not telling you. That's so annoying that they do. There it is. 1 through 6, actually, so I was wrong. 1 through 6 of The Infinite Horizon and collected in this trade. All 6 issues. Artist is Phil. Oh, God. I just had like a what the hell moment because I thought I just ran out of storage. Alright. Come on, charger. Alright, so I don't want to use this charger. This charger doesn't work that well. That does work, but not that well. And it's the new brand's making new charger, so I know it's gonna work. Alright. So I thought it was out of storage, and I was about to freak out. But anyways, 1 through 6, artist is Phil Noto. I don't think it's a colorist. No, there's not. Okay, cool. So we're done. I'll show the artwork again because I feel like I didn't, and there's no part of my brain that's saying you did. So here's the artwork for The Infinite Horizon. But yeah, I don't remember this book being particularly great, and I did not mind getting that used very good. Very good. Like new, honestly. But there's a little sticker. You can see it on the cover. There's a little sticker residue. I think at that point they have to say used very good. But yeah. But so I decided to get that this month because the rest of these, actually, the next 3 are all written by Brian Posehn, and then this is co-written by Gerry Duggan, but I got it because Brian Posehn. So Brian Posehn and Gerry Duggan co-write these next 3 books. Starting with The Last Christmas, which collects The Last Christmas 1 through 5, I believe. Which is created and written by Gerry Duggan and Brian Posehn, penciled by Rick Remender, inked by Hilary Barta, and colored by Michelle Madsen. Alright, where does it say the issues are? Okay, cool, you don't tell me. Gives me Krampus vibes, which is also published by Image, like specifically the Krampus series that's published by Image. So, and I believe that's the same demographic they're going for, like that ridiculous, super violent Christmas comic. Yep, 1 through 5, I was right. Because when you think of Christmas, you don't think of violence, you think of schmaltzy and schmaltz and like Hallmarky shit. Scott McTiernan versus the Forces of Evil. You've heard of Scott Pilgrim versus the Forces of Evil. Here's Scott McTiernan versus the Forces of Evil. Written by the same 2 people, Gerry Duggan and Brian Posehn. But colorist for the Secret History and the War of Weed is Hi-Fi. Artist is Scott Koblish. Scott McTiernan's Halloween Party is same exact creative team. Okay, so same exact creative team across the board for all 3 issues of this miniseries. All three one-shots, rather. But it collects Scott McTiernan, Secret History and the War of Weed, Halloween Party, and Holiday Party. There's 2 different books that are parties. One's Halloween, the other's the holiday. And go away, Kindle notification. I don't care. It's usually so Kindle notifications are usually like, did you know that Jerry Duggan, a writer you're interested in, writes comics? Did you know that there are new books, there are new comics out this week? Did you know that comics exist? Did you know that? They do. It's like, cool. At least the emails make sense. I said, hey, I want email notifications, novelty, for for Brian Poshen, for Marguerite Bennett, and so on and so forth. It's usually I don't do it every author. It's usually the ones that I have all their image work from. So Brian Lee O'Malley. So I don't mind getting those emails. Yeah, it's annoying to get them at midnight, but I digress. All right. This video's been going on for a very long time. I don't want to hold you guys hostage for too long because I did say this is gonna be a quick video. And again, quick as in at least half of the length of tomorrow's the next video. I mean, for Comic Haul, complete July haul. I mean, Rick Remender and Brian Poshen co-write Grommets. So no more Jerry Duggan. If I did realize I just said Jerry Duggan. I was wrong. I whoopsies. But yeah, Rick Remender. And this one looked really interesting. It took place in 1984. It had to do a lot with skateboard culture, which I'm not a huge skateboarder, obviously, but I do like me period pieces. And I'm not completely sick of comics or just media that takes place in the 80s. 1 through 7 of Grommets is collected in the series. All 7 issues of the Grommets series is collected in this trade. And the artist for this series is Moreno Denaizo, is a colorist. Artist is Brett Parson. Actually, the artwork. I know I did. Okay. Another 2-volume series, and that is, and we got one more after this, and that is Impaler. Volume 2 has a little bit of a scuff. You can tell it's used very good, but that's it. Honestly, to use very good is always a gamble. Either you have it in completely immaculate, except for some sticker residue, like with Pretty Violent Volume 1 and Infinite Horizon, respectively, or it's mangled, and you can tell someone had read it before you, because there's like, not tears, but like there's little indents here, like with The Voice in the Dark. Watch my complete December haul to see that book. But it was like, atrocious. It was definitely that's not used very good. It's used good. You lied to me, and I'm never gonna trust you again. I think it was like one of the thrift books. Thrift books and half price books I hate. I'm not gonna go into the reason for why, but they just say I'll do TLDR. They take too long to go from to get to your house. Like they go from this place, and I don't think it's USPS's fault. They stay at facilities for way too long, and they're always like the last. If I'm ordering from third-party sellers and they're not pre-orders, and I bought them at the same time, you can guarantee that half-price books is always the ones that come in last. And then also, they just lie with the conditions sometimes. Same with thrift books. But anyways, Impaler Volume 1 collects 1 through 6 of Impaler. No, 1 through 3. As well as the final 3 chapters of the initial storyline not available anywhere else. So 6 issues. And I swear it said collects 1 through 5. 1 through 5. 1 through 6. And not, but I just, but no, just like this. I swear it said collects 1 through 6 and not what I just regurgitated. I just said. My God. I cannot word sometimes. Very dark artwork. Even I can't see it too well. I mean, like I'm looking at it like this. Yes, I'm doing it like this. No. Not so much. This will be better. And this is the last time I do this. I know I'm trying to get this done. I'm stalling and not all this bullshit. Not trying to get it done, but trying not to make this video 2 hours long. Alright. Written by... Okay. Alright, so I'm going to go by what issue 1 tells me. It is written by William Harms. Pencils and additional inks by Nick Postick. With colors done and also inks by Nick Marinkovic. Okay. And then volume 2, I wonder if it collects the Vampire Mythos books. It's a brand new reimagining of the Vampire Mythos. Cool. Alright, so Impaler Volume 2 collects Impaler Volume 2, 1 through 5, and then that's it. There is like a 3-page epilogue issue, but it's free on digital. Get it while you can, because Image likes pulling things from their digital website. I don't know if it's just Amazon being stupid, but there are some books that I have that I bought myself on the Kindle. So I know they exist. I know they were once available on the Kindle, and they're not anymore. The Image Comics website is awful too. It's not accurate at all, and they will take away books. Again, a tangent. I will go on to. I will go into more detail later on, but just know that the TLDR is that the website sucks, and they will take for instance, Gary Whitta, nothing on his, even though I know he's done stuff for Image. I own it myself, and it's inaccurate and it's annoying. And then last but not least is 39 Minutes, also written by William Harms. It's an OGN, I believe at least, or it collects 4 issues of the series. And Linda Sajic is the colorist for chapters 2 through 4. And Jerry Lando is the artist throughout, but Jay Lee Stern is the inker for chapter 1. Brian Buccellato is the colorist for chapter 1. And then, yeah, that makes sense. That adds up. For whatever reason, I was like, that doesn't add up. It's a bank robber book. That's my kind of book. I know nothing about William Harms. I just had seen Impaler advertised on the back of other comics. And I was like, hey, the only other thing that I need is 39 Minutes and Shotgun Wedding. Which Shotgun Wedding was super cheap on the Kindle, so I got it on the Kindle. Not dealing with eBay and their surge pricing. And I say surge pricing in the sense that I don't want to pay more than cover. I don't like paying more than cover price for floppies or trades in general. And floppies are already $4, which I admit is a cheap-ish price if you're doing online shopping. So then you add in the shipping costs, and then you're like, okay, and that's useless. But I'm a completist, so I got it. That, as they say, is that. Fell off. Don't tell me that's gonna fall off forever. I can't.